Hey everyone, it's Nicholas from Trackman. We're at the Open Forum in Orlando during the PGA Show week. This is the place where the greatest minds in golf get together for a little bit more informal session where you share the latest technology advancements and also sharing the latest trends in golf coaching. So today we'll be talking about the 3D motion analysis that we're coming out with, and Fredrik Tuxen will talk about how we go from ball flight to the body movement. All right, join me as we're going in here.
All right, guys, you gotta quiet down a little bit, thank you. You don't have to put them that low. You can put, there we go, a little, just set the mood. All right, guys, so obviously two people who don't really need any introduction, Fredrik Tuxen and Liam Mucklow. Here you go.
All right. All right, welcome everybody. It's always a highlight of the year is to come here and say hello to all you great people here. And today, joined with Liam Mucklow, and we have some exciting things to share with you. So, but maybe as an intro, Liam.
I'm going to start. We're going to talk about biomechanics, 3D motion analysis. It's awesome to be up here on the stage with a longtime good friend of mine, and just excited to be up here. And can you change the slide? No, you're not supposed to. Remember, he said only listen to him. Sorry, that was a test. I know, I'm sorry. I'm messing with you. I've had a long day too. We're just trying to have some fun up here. But anyway, just to kind of start off, some of you guys I saw a little bit earlier today. I just want to talk about, my 3D journey. Which started for me in 2008 with K-Vest. The Gen 1, the white sensors, we get 3 pieces of information. Usually just after impact, the hand sensor would fly off into the left wall of the academy. And then, I was also fortunate at the place that I work, we had a motion reality system. Did anyone get a chance to use one of those? No, it was pretty cool. It was like a precursor to gears. We were talking about this earlier, so you had like this big stick that I had to put in 9 different places on this floor plate. And then I had to go and wand, and then be like, okay, Tom, we're going to analyze your swing, but I want to give you this driver that's really nothing like yours. And that's kind of what we did. We got other ones. AMM came along. I remember driving down to Buffalo to pick up a AMM system and drive it back to Canada and told them I just went for lunch to try and avoid taxes. Then it was gears, then it was Qualisys, then it was Kinetrax. And what Fredrik's going to talk to you about now is what I believe to be the first and best opportunity for motion capture to be scalable. Not only do we get immediate actionable data, but they've also been able to remove all of the complexity and just make it so simple. So I'll let you go ahead and order the slide change.
All right, so next slide, please. So as Finney was saying before, 23 years ago, we started Trackman. And so there's a little bit of history here. And what we were obsessed with was to find out where a ball landed on a driving range. It was all about what the ball was doing. So my solution to that was to track the ball all the way, so the full trajectory. We learned nobody else was doing that. And then we thought, okay, game over, we've solved that. Golf is all about what the ball is doing. And I remember the first time we demoed this for some of the big equipment manufacturers, because that was our first customers. They started asking, well, can you measure the spin rate? And I looked at them and said, why do you want to know the spin rate? I mean, golf is about where the ball is landing. Well, I got educated, I got wiser. So yes, I went home, worked on that, and found out how to determine that. And then you say, it evolved from there, because how can you then affect the ball trajectory? Well, that's all about how you deliver the club. So that's how we did, all, the club tracking, and, discovered Theo Jorgensen had written this great book about the D-plane, but nobody was using it, and sort of building up on that. Because the ball is a reaction to what the club is doing. So why I'm saying this is because what is the club doing? It's doing what the body is doing. So it's a completely natural extension that we now are adding body tracking to the Trackman offering. And last year, we actually introduced what we call motion analysis, which basically was a skeleton tracking. It could work on a single camera, and the only thing you saw, no numbers at all, but only how joints were moving, how your hand path was moving, how the club trail was moving. But that's going to change now. So can I have the next slide, please? So we are now introducing 3D motion analysis as an integrated part of the Trackman Performance Studio. What it requires is two cameras, basically a down-the-line camera and a face-on. And it works both for Trackman 4 and for Trackman IO. The absolutely essential thing here is that, I actually think that putting out 3D from a single camera where you have to make assumptions about depth, that's not serious. At least that's not Trackman. So we have to have this 3D tracking before we're putting out numbers. And when you're tracking the body and all the systems that are out there today, there's no talk about where you're trying to make the ball go. There's no target line there. There's no ball trajectory. But that's what the integrated solution will do here. And that means that all the data you will have on the ball, on the club, and on the body will be referenced to the same coordinate system. We call it the golfer's coordinate system. It always starts where the ball is hit from, so no matter whether you move it around. Origo is always where the ball is on the ground or on the tee peg, and then the target as you have identified by pointing out in the camera. So everything in the same thing. Another thing which is super important for our solution is the ease of use. So no markers are required on the ball, no markers are required on the club, and no markers are required on the body. And again, for making this super easy, it is essential that we're calibrating the two cameras and the Trackman unit to the same coordinate system. And just to illustrate this, can I have the next slide, please? Can I have the next slide, please? So what you'll see here, and hopefully the video should play now, yes. So this is how it will look like in the calibration screen. So and then we have a video what's actually going on in what you have to do. So essentially, you are placing the ball in 4 quadrants, and then the Trackman camera, as well as the down the line and the face-on camera, will automatically detect the ball. And the goal was to do this within less than 30 seconds. If you started your stopwatch on this one, you'll find out that in this case it took 29.6 seconds. So that's how easy it is to get this up running. So Liam, you have been one of the chosen few to actually get access to the beta we've had.
Yep.
And maybe you can tell a little bit. Next slide, please.
Thank you.
Maybe I have a few things. Maybe I said it already that now this will be some extra tabs in your the Trackman Performance Studio. Everything will be stored on a shot-to-shot basis. Ball data, club data, body data, and fully customizable. What scares a little bit the hell out of me is we are now overnight now adding 26 new parameters. There is positions, there is rotations, and there's translations. And all of these have definitions. We have to teach you guys. We have a plan for how we're going to do that. We maybe all are not defining angles the same way, but we are trying to describe what the body is doing. So maybe, if you could add some words to what your experience
definitely.
has been.
We'll go, can you please order up the next slide? All right, thank you. I gotta just go back to, the fully connected stuff has been huge for me. Again, just looking out at the faces in the room, I know so many of us have fought the same challenges. I might need to get a couple more TVs, Brian, but I know that you, like myself, James, absolutely, we've been grinding through trying to pair data sets from multiple systems, whether we're using timestamps or time serial data or manually collating spreadsheets or all of these things. It's so nice to just have it all in one place. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to test it. Fredrik says just Liam, can you find a way to break it? So we'll try and break it, we'll put it back together, we'll break it again, they put it back together, and it's been so much fun to have golfers in. In fact, I had one of the golfers in this room who said I could use his data, just I needed to crop out his name, so Scott let me know if we got your name out properly. But he came in, and I just want to show you some of the amazing things that you can actually work with on golfers. So Fredrik, if you could order the next slide. Please. So, I wasn't going into loading patterns, wasn't looking at peak speed sequences, wasn't looking at anything. I just wanted to click, a few different shots in the shot tree there on the left-hand side, and then using, the 3D, the Stickman, because I don't have an overhead camera in Baton Rouge, but I was able to go and show an overhead perspective. And I just want you to take a look as we click through this, how drastically something as simple as alignment changes, and then take a look at resultant changes in club path and face to path and in curvature. I'm not sure about most of you guys in the room, but most people that come and see me, when I say, how can I help you, they answer with one word. Probably 80% of them say the same word. Well, it's consistency, right? We all hear that, we all hear it all the time. And how do we breed consistency of a club delivery if we can't at least breed consistency of a setup? So I love the fact that we're able to take complex technology, all the work that's gone into this over the last 22, 23 years, and actually make it simple. And that's back to what I talked about. That's what I think makes it scalable. Is there some language that we need to standardize? Yes, there is, and I can tell you the Trackman's working very hard on that right now. But what's so cool about this is you can start coaching with it the very first time you turn it on. The UI is simple enough, the overlays are clear enough for your golfers that basically it provides you with visuals and measurables of the stuff that you place value on already. And so this is going to make it very easy for you to connect the body movements that you already talk about with quantifiable data and show correlations to the club delivery that your golfer is looking for.
Next slide, please.
So I guess when I look at this body to club to ball, it allows us to work through this kind of full feedback loop, and we can provide more accurate diagnosis. Ultimately, I like to talk about a term called the key performance indicator. And now if we can correlate one key body movement to one key club delivery parameter, we can have a ripple effect that'll help that golfer play better faster.
Great. So next slide, please. So the plan from here is that we here at the show, we will have a beta of this. We have been running a very tight beta, so it's been very selected few. That will be broadened out probably within a month's time, so everybody who's on the beta program will receive that. If you have a huge desire, hey, I want this tomorrow, send an email to me or somebody else from Trackman, and we just need your serial number and we can enable this for you. As I said, this will work both for a Trackman IO and for Trackman 4. It is scheduled to be released together with TPS 10.3 that is scheduled for March release. As I said, and Liam also touched upon it, we're introducing a lot of new parameters. There's some definitions and so on. So we are doing a lot of work already on creating TMU material. So there will be a lot of material available there. There will also be certification program. Nicholas Bergdahl, who's in the corner here, is actually running that efforts. And I actually have access to the beta material, which is already there. It's awesome. And the best part of this is that this is included in your subscription. There's no extra charge. If you have the Trackman, you have the subscription, now you just overnight just got a 3D body motion tracking system. So hopefully you will enjoy that.
Yeah, I was going to say that you obviously go by the booth anytime. They'll be able to demo it for you.
Maybe
Nicholas and I have 2 demos scheduled. We got 12 o'clock tomorrow, 9:30 in the morning on Thursday.
Yeah, and we will have it live running, so please stop by, check it out, and those of you who really want to play this on your own, let us know, and we will enable it for you. And I'm so excited about this. This is not every day that we are coming with such a big new offering, and this is intended to be used by coaches. So you will not have access to select the Stickman view and getting the 3D data point unless you have gone through the calibration. That is the enabler. So we don't want average golfers to get lost in this. At some point, I hope we can maybe shrink it down, and there will also be an offering for the average golfer. But for now, this is for you guys, this is for coaches. Yes?
How does it compare to current biomechanic programs?
The question was, how does it compare to current biomechanical programs? I actually do think that you have had access. Also, some of the audience have had compared with some of the other systems out there. All the feedback we have got is that for those 3D systems that work well, it aligns really, really well. Then there are some that I don't think you should be using. But Liam?
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, I've spent most of my time in breakage testing thus far. There's a couple things that I think go a long way for me. First, it's in terms of like sample size for training, high level of swings, high level of variability within golfers, so the model's not trained to really only look at a traditional swing. Also, in terms of back at HQ, gold standard system is a Vicon, so everything's evaluated back against that.
Qualisys, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Qualisys, my bad. Thank you for that.
Yep.
I knew I had to at least get corrected one time up here, so that feels pretty good in front of a few hundred people, but I got it wrong. No, but it is. It's again, connected to the target line. One of the things I like, I've played around with, all the different apps and stuff like that. I really like being able to transition people from having actual visual overlays on their body and then work into different camera angles on the Stickman. So, I'm huge on communication, and the UI for me brings the data to life.
And we touched upon it here. I mean, we have used our ground truth, how we have sort of trained the system to recognize this. It's been the Qualisys system where we actually put markers on the body, and we have taken, it's the joint centers we are looking at here. So we have put markers on either side, and it's the midpoint between those. That's how we have trained the system.
Yeah, so if you,
and maybe we can just add, it's still the Trackman way we are doing it, meaning that if there are parts of the swing that if the light is not good enough for the AI to actually find the joints, we will not output data in that part of the region. And that might be that you will be missing some parts of the swing. So it is our DNA that we want to make as sure as we possibly can that we are only outputting actionable data and not having you to be the filter of what you're seeing. Yes?
Any chance for tour averages?
Question about tour averages. I think that's, I don't know how you do a tour average on body motion. We will have model swings. We already have a lot of model swings in there, but those we have captured so far, they did not have the calibrated cameras. So we have a task in front of us is to actually get that in there. Now, it's a little bit, I do think that it is something that is powerful is to see what the best players in the world are doing. Would you necessarily want to make everybody look like, Scotty Scheffler? Probably not, but it's definitely an inspiration. So I think we should be a little bit careful about this. I think it's more about, understanding in order to get the ball flight that you ultimately want. That's what golf is about. I mean, all the data that we are providing with Trackman, the value is actually not in the data. The value is how we use that data to teach golfers to play better golf. That's what it's about. So be careful not to get too lost in the data.
I second that motion.
Yes?
Just on the topic of consistency, I was wondering if you have any idea of the reliability of the data, measurement errors, etc. for body measures.
Yeah, so question was about, do we have any idea about the tolerances on what we are tracking? Yes, we do. Generally speaking, every joint is tracked within 1 inch, I think it is. If my engineering manager is it about in or is it 2? 2 centimeters, which is less than 1 inch. And then in the angles, 5 degrees. But you should also, we're benchmarking this of a Qualisys system where we're putting markers on the skin, and what we really want to know is the joint center. So this is just numbers that says how much does putting markers on the skin correlate with what we are doing with the AI. And you know, I tend to think that we have been quite careful of putting the markers right, but there's also a little bit of sort of tolerances in that. But that's where we are now, and yeah.
I mean, between sessions, the reliability, are you planning on testing that?
Between sessions, so that means in order to, I don't think we have done sort of thorough analysis of that. But it's definitely something that is, you know, important. I do think that the way we are doing the calibration and how rigorous we are about that means that it will be quite consistent on the 3D. Again, whenever you put the camera, you might not be putting it exactly in the same position if you have it on a tripod and so on, but that doesn't matter. That's only the projection you will see in the camera view. All the 3D is independent of that. And again, relative to the target line, which is what matters. Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Good job, man.